Hey, everybody. I just want to say thank you, thank you, thank you, and thank you some more. We got to 15K. Now we are on, in my opinion, the road to 30K. 30K matters because you get a couple more perks. You can do more things with your channel. But how do we get there? What are you guys interested in? I see we got a couple people in the room. This is going to be really the first time we've done this on the live stream. I may even take calls. We get to 150, 200 viewers. I think that we will take calls. If I take calls, and you're listening right now, be ready to turn down the stream when I go to you so there's not an echo and I can actually hear you and stuff like that. So, guys, out of the gates, thank you again. I will take all super chats. I'll try to go through and kind of answer just about everything. I was already talking to Danielle Howard in here. Thank you so much, Danielle. From time to time, we may even use this cam here and kind of look at the chats in the background. Thank you very much, Flick Off. And King Putin, thank you, bro. Thank you, guys. Lizzie Fizzy, thank you so much. I know you've thrown me some super chats before. Also awesome. Let's see. Cuomo was Kingston today, banning plastic bags. Yeah, I know. I live in New York. Kingston's about a two-hour drive. And I actually grew up until I was about, when we moved? When I was 12 years old, 11, 12. I think I was 12 at the time. We moved that summer. So somewhere in there. I lived in Dutchess County, so very close to Kingston. He did not take any questions. He never does. If you've seen the time that he got on the Ferris wheel in upstate New York, basically all the people in line, I think it was somewhere outside of Syracuse last summer, and people were pissed, man. First of all, they don't like him. They don't vote for him up here. We're just so outnumbered by the city. For instance, I live in Otsego County, guys, and right, I don't know, 10, 20 miles away is a place called Franklin County. We're pretty close to the Pennsylvania border. One of the biggest struggles here is whether or not to allow people to frack. And I'm not here to debate that issue right now. But the bottom line is they let it do it in Pennsylvania. We live in a very economically destitute area. And people that live there, they want to do it. So they've tried to secede to Pennsylvania. They're trying to put litigation in. I can't really argue with them. I personally and many others do not love the policies that take place in New York City. I don't want to get into, all the left-right nonsense because that's really not what I'm all about. I'm about right and wrong. But some of these things that are taking place, extremely wrong. Extremely wrong. So let's see. Wonder if Nexium crossed his desk. Oh, I'm sure. When Spitzer was the Attorney General. Remember, Spitzer got burned, everybody. Not that I'm in love with Elliot Spitzer. He was starting to talk about possible presidency runs and whatnot, but Spitzer got burned for mainline prostitution, which, of course, I'm not going to endorse. But at the same time, when you look at what some of these other monsters have done, and especially with Nexium, and that's something actually we're going to cover a little bit. I didn't know exactly how much news we were going to cover, but there's some breaking stuff in Nexium. So maybe we'll go through that right now as the trial goes through. For instance, obviously we knew that Raniere had a history with young girls. And what I thought was really interesting is, if you've been watching my stuff, I played a video from the Times-Union on the girl who was 12 and 13 at the time. Not a lot of people getting into that aspect of it. And it seems that now, after seeing the testimony of that student, the feds are finally going to do something about it. Finally going to do something about it. That just shows where we're at. So what I really want to do, guys, is I want to hit on some of these stories. I want to talk to you in the chat here. I don't know who Kip Simpson is. Let's see. Let's go through some of these chats and kind of hit these stories one at a time. Maybe even show you some of my my methods for research. For those that don't know, I do 3 videos a day over at the backup channel here. We pump them out, guys. I talk about just about everything, mainline, non-mainline you can think of. Assange, Luke. He's been at this for years. Nothing but respect for Luke. Very happy to be working with him and We Are Change. If you don't know Luke Rudowski, he has confronted some of the biggest names in politics, business, you name it, about corruption, and especially on the front of 9/11 Truth, and Bilderberg. He has been at the forefront for quite some time. So I'm over there daily, and then we do one video a day over here on the main We Are Change page. So if you're not subscribed to those, obviously those are bigger channels, but a lot more in the now topics, but a lot of things you're not going to hear about. For instance, when we talked about the Easter atrocity, I'm not sure if you guys have tuned into those. I know they didn't get a lot of traction, but just so you know, our military just gave them $39 million in this past year, had said they wanted to strengthen their presence in that area as a strategic move against China, okay, and actually had naval ships there, which they said they wanted to increase their naval presence in that port, Indian Ocean, okay, and they were running drills starting Good Friday. And those drills, if you go to my channel here, what were they called? Let's see, they were Cooperation Afloat Readiness. Cooperation Afloat Readiness. So if you haven't checked that video out, I'm certainly not calling false flag or anything like that, but this does look like Islamic terror. At least that's what the narrative is right now. I mean, Christians were attacked. We saw churches. We saw hotels. We saw that there was a 6-foot pipe bomb found in an airport. And we also saw that several car bombs were later blown up. So I think that, Sri Lanka is not somewhere that we think about very often. We already have, a small military presence there. I think that could become kind of like an AFRICOM type operation that most people are not aware of. So let's see what we got over here, guys. Let's scroll down and get going. Let's see. Jayhawks #1. Much love, man. Been watching you since the early Jones days. You definitely deserve 15K and more. Well, thank you, bro. Again, it's not even so much about subscribers, I think. That's definitely part of it if you really want to go viral on YouTube at this point. But more so, what I've been trying to do is just put stuff out no one else is talking about. One of the things that I really loved about working at InfoWars while I was making my 2 films that Jones produced, Fabled Enemies and then Invisible Empire, was that I could attack both sides. I could say the truth. There was I can go into history. If you've seen my MK Ultra series right now, all the things that I was really interested in. And, in these beginning stages of the internet when social media was not everything, before smartphones had really taken hold, the original iPhone was out, Androids were starting to get there. I remember I was there when Jones drilled through the original iPad as some kind of a stunt, but monetization wasn't there. This wasn't, a career opportunity in the sense that I could reach an audience in a short period of time. What's great about this is, guys, I literally am in my house. I have a set room. Maybe I'll put some pictures up sometime so you can check this out. But it's a small little studio. I have a green screen behind me, obviously. Those don't even seem necessary almost at this point, guys. With VCam and other software, they can cut you almost out. And I can surf through the web in real time, show everybody the articles, put them on, forget about the document cam days of old. But now you get to take a look. And, one of the great things, let's bring it over here, is that I used to have to order and wait. You watch my old documentaries for C-SPAN footage. And I had no idea what was in there. You couldn't even find all the transcripts online unless it was a big hearing. It was very tough to find what you wanted, so you were kind of guessing half the time. Now, their entire archive is up, high definition, and well, as high as it goes when it was broadcast. And my ability to not only look these things up and research them, but then bring them to my audience in a short period of time is amazing. In live HD to you. It's a broadcasting thing. I mean, I have a setup right now with 4 screens, a $2,000 computer, some hard drives, this equipment, everything legit I could probably buy tomorrow for under $3,000. Not possible when I left InfoWars in 2010 after Invisible Empire. So thank you for those that, have kind of come along since then. I still had about 5,000 subscribers since I had posted my last thing, which got posted on InfoWars and, put up over there. The the cop thing in 2012, and about 7 years later, I started posting on this again after working with We Are Change for about a year and a half. So very excited to keep going with this, guys. And thank you so much. Thank everybody who's joined in. Again, thank you so much for hitting the AMA broadcast, the 15K broadcast. Again, you got a subject you want me to look into live on air? Yeah, let's do it. Let's talk about it. We just did some nexium stuff. In fact, let's hit the nexium stuff because I want to show you that aside from them now looking for that 12-year-old girl that I reported on, if you're watching the videos that I did report on not so long ago, I think it might have been 2 videos ago, maybe 3 on nexium. You know what? It's not the Raniere in his own words. It's not Vanguard exposed, but it's certainly, I think it's the one before that. And now again, the feds going to be looking for this girl. And Times Union, props to them, man. Brendan Lyons, briefly met him and talked to him at the symposium that you can also see for free on my channel. Please check that out. If you haven't seen that, there's a lot of insight in there. You're not seeing in any publications either if you're interested in the nexium trial. And now the feds are asking her, what took the feds so long? I mean, those reports were out. This is the biggest paper in Albany. The Times Union, the Times Union Center, it's an arena. It's well known in the area. It's the capital here. And again, we're kind of pushed aside because we're upstate New York and not New York City. But just so everybody knows, Albany is quite a ways away and is the capital. So the big question is, in this Raniere trial, are we going to see Mac testify now that she's pled guilty and come to a plea deal? It doesn't even look like it's on the table that Bronfman's going to testify with her sweetheart deal. I mean, the charges that she pled guilty to and the 21 to 72 months max that she can do. And remember, she gets 27 months. Anything more than that, she can appeal. So anything more than 2 years and 3 months, and let's say she gets the 27. I doubt that, but let's say she gets that. How many of that is she going to serve? And when? And is she going to be out of there 12 hours a day like Epstein? I mean, give me a break. All right. So let's go back to some of the chats. And remember, hit the chats, guys. I'm answering questions. Let's go. Charles Patterson says, hi, solid. Kyle Anderson says, great commentary, great content. Thank you so much. Let's see. Oh, man, I jumped a little bit on me there, huh? Here we go. Pessimistic Pomegranate, congrats. I don't understand how you don't have more than 10 times as many subscribers. Dude, again, think about it. I just started posting on Valentine's Day. I mean, I could tell you my crushing story on why I decided to post on Valentine's Day. Why not, right? We're on the live AMA broadcast, but so I started posting on Valentine's Day. It's funny. My friends from Healthy Junk Food are here. If you don't know what Healthy Junk Food is, let's go there right now. This is going to be a fun broadcast, guys. And what do you guys think about me doing a midnight or a Monday midnight mass hysteria? Like midnight mass. We'll call it Monday midnight mass, and then add hysteria to it and do an AMA kind of style broadcast like this where we take phone calls and do whatever. I know it's late and it's Monday night, but it's kind of obscure, and that's only East Coast style, so it's earlier for other people. But anyway, the Healthy Junk Food crew, I'm actually in some of these videos. If you want to see me do some comedy from like 4 or 5 years ago, you can check them out. But they're friends of mine, and they just happen to be up for Easter weekend. They end up spending Easter with me. But going back to Valentine's Day, I'm single, just so everybody knows. I've never been married. I don't have any children. My sister's kids and my sister live downstairs. They just came back from Virginia. My mom came up too. Hadn't seen her in a while. She's here. So it's nice. Family's here. I help take care of them. But again, not married. So I'm talking to this pretty girl on Tinder, and she knows these guys and I know these guys. And, it's only one name. Anyway, she tells me she knows them. I do the Facebook stalking thing, which I'm sure many of you have done, just to see, what her last name is, what she does. Married, kids. Apparently only one of them is hers after I was in the bar with them this weekend. And this girl walks in, and she is very pretty. She's super hot. And I'm like, man, why do I know this girl? And I realize it's the girl from Tinder. And I tell JP the story, and JP's like, oh, yeah, I know Amy, and goes over and starts talking to her. So that's my awkward life, guys. Back to real news. Back to real news. So will Mac testify? And, oh, by the way, do I even need to read that? Does that surprise you about the way this guy's talked and acted towards women? Kind of makes me sick. So pessimistic pomegranates, 10 times as many subscribers. I hope we get there, my man. Or woman. I mean, I guess I shouldn't misgender you. I don't know. That's a tough one to call. Tanya Vaughn, does anyone follow Kip Simpson? I said that. I don't know what Kip Simpson is. The numbers are skewed. I mean, again, when you look at what the algorithm does, I got to tell you, another thing that's great about YouTube right now is your analytics are right there on the side, guys. And if you're not a YouTuber and don't understand them, my analytics are pretty good. My audience stays with me, and thank you so much for that. One of the things I did, enjoy while I was at InfoWars was doing that talk radio format. But one of the things I didn't like was having to do advertisements and take breaks. And that's why I think Joe Rogan is so popular, because it's a conversation and an interesting one, and you can bring up any kind of topic evidence that you have on the spot and look at it. You know, when someone talks about something and Joe's a little suspicious or brings up a video, you can look at it and you bring it up, and that's a great format. And to not be interrupted by incessant commercials and have to shill out for advertising, and it just kind of goes the route of traditional television in that AdSense just places stuff in your videos. It works out. The upsetting thing is that, yes, I am demonetized constantly, and remonetization does not always happen. Even my MK Ultra stuff, one of those got hit, and usually the history stuff, even when it gets hit, it gets remonetized. But one of the last ones, the first victim, part one of the victims one, that got demonetized and hit. So let's see. Congratulations, Jason, from Lola Bells. Thank you, Lola. Tanya Vaughn, have you seen the recent arrests? I'm not sure what arrests we're talking about. Are we talking about the arrests with Sri Lanka? Because I was going over that earlier. I know, if you watch my video, I showed some of the raids. I talked about how there was a social media ban and blackout. All this stuff is bad. It's really not on the radar in the public domain until this happens. And obviously, it's being framed as Islamic terror. We know that there were warnings that have been acknowledged by the government, I believe now 10 days before the attack. I'm aware that there is some video circulating of one of the supposed suicide bombers. But I would like to add that, I'm not saying there weren't suicide bombers involved, but you did find one unexploded pipe bomb in an airport. And now I'm seeing the reports of 3 unexploded car bombs, one of which you can watch go off on video. And again, very coordinated. 8 separate targets actually hit throughout the country. And our military wants to strengthen there. You look at their arms dealing in the 80s and our policies there. It's very interesting. And right now, there's an election coming up that if the opposition government comes in, we may not be as cozy. But all of a sudden, we have a bigger military presence announced at the end of March. And on Good Friday, we launch, again, drills, naval drills. By the way, it's not just the Navy that was there. The Army and Marines also taking part of those drills. And I don't see anybody reporting on it. We Are Change reports on it. So again, guys, if you're not watching We Are Change, if you're not watching Pulse Change, that's, again, one of the important things that, I think that we hit. If you haven't seen the Easter atrocity video, please go check that out. And, we might even be doing a follow-up on Pulse tomorrow, because I really do feel like that is a very under-talked about aspect to this, that our military is poised and ready to help in any way that they want. And what is that going to mean? Exactly. All right, so let's see. Recent arrest, Daniel Howard says, awesome, thanks. Awesome, thank you. Let's see. 5 Algerian billionaires arrested. No, I have no idea about that. What is that about? So let's take a look. About 5 Algerian billionaires. Wow. And the anti-corruption drive, huh? That's huge. I'm sure that's something we're going to cover tomorrow. Let's get into it really quick. All right. Algerian authorities have arrested 5 billionaires as a part of an anti-corruption investigation, State TV reported. So is this in Algeria? Issad Rabad, a former and chairman of Servital, Algeria's biggest privately held company, was arrested on Monday alongside 4 brothers from the, so it's a family too, Kouninef family. So again, they're all related. Okay, they're billionaires, but it's not like, oh, we're taking out one of the cartels, it seems like. Rita, Abdelkar, Karim, and Tarif Khanif are believed to be part of former President Abdelaziz, oh man, these are tough, Bouteflika's inner circle, while Rabarb, owner of the critical Liberté newspaper, opposed the president's 2014 re-election. So they're involved in media? Well, they're billionaires, huh? Let's see. Private NNR TV channel reported later on Monday that the 5 individuals seized by authorities have been taken to court to face the charges leveled by the General Prosecutor's Office. Further details were not immediately available. Interesting. Definitely something we're going to follow up on. Man, billionaires. Listen, a lot of people think that, they can never be touched. And I just don't believe that. I realize it's 2019 and shit is fucked up. And one of the biggest things that's fucked up, in my opinion, if we're ever going to get past what's really power structures in this world, talk about nepotism, talk about bloodlines. I mean, we still have royalty in 2019, and I'm not just talking about the royal family in the UK, which makes me absolutely nauseous, but you look at Saudi Arabia, that's bloodline run. And the idea that somebody should rule because of who their father is absolutely ludicrous. And the idea that there's a second class of people because of the money they have is, just something that I think also needs to be torn down. But until we actually address the other stuff, I don't know how that's ever going to be torn down. All right, let's continue on here. Charles Patterson. Why for Tanya? I'm not sure what that is. Do you think Assange will testify or live long enough to testify? I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen there. If you haven't been watching my Assange and Dershowitz videos, I encourage you to start there. I think it sucks, obviously. I mean, whether you like the guy and his positions or not, I think we need outlets for this material. And the fact that he's never had to retract one document is super telling, isn't it? Isn't that really important? Like, we already have Manning, who had their sentence commuted, right? One of the few things that Barack Obama did that was a good thing in his presidency, in my opinion. And then, because Manning refuses to testify against Assange in a secret trial, she's back in solitary confinement. It's abhorrent. It's disgusting. You know that they wanted Assange, from the moment that they saw him as a threat. That's why he's been in an embassy for years. And I can't imagine. I need sunshine. I need to walk around. I need my freedom. That's just another form of prison to stay in. If I had to stay in my house every day, oh my God. Any of you, think about that. Not being able to leave, too much. All right, let's continue. Lola Bell's always running drills. Again, I'm not trying to say anything is nefarious, but we certainly have more military presence there than usual, and we are, we have the ability to strike. Let's see. Thanks, Atan Yvonne. I just checked. Was watching a movie. Hadn't seen it yet. Oh, the Algerian thing. Maybe that's it. Do you think this is the powers to be tricking us? It's Christian-Muslim war. Listen. If you've seen my stuff on 9/11, please watch Fabled Enemies. I'm not saying that there is not Islamic terror out there. I do believe blowback is a real thing. I do believe smaller level attacks are often the real deal. But in many cases, when they are large scale, highly coordinated, and cause a massive loss of life, they're government sponsored, man. Period. Amen. Funded throughout. So you take real jihadis and use them. The weapons, you name it. And you look at the 93 bombing. I have a spot in my film Invisible Empire on that. Fabled Enemies and Invisible Empire, free, available on this channel. Please go check them out. Because Invisible Empire is an international intelligence operation film. That's what it is. It shows you all the roles. It shows you the role of Pakistan that's still being covered up. It shows you the role of Israel that people deny that I've ever exposed. 20-minute section. It shows the role of the COG, or the Continuity of Government program, within our own country. It shows the funding by Saudi Arabia and the fact that people like Robert Wright and others tried to expose that. It shows the role of flight schools in this country, of intelligence agencies in this country, of programs that followed the hijackers like Able Danger. So if you haven't seen Fabled Enemies, please, that's one of the things that's why I actually use that as the main graphic tonight, is part of the cover right there. And I mean, if you can see, like, the Saudi Arabian flag is right here, and then the Israeli flag's behind me. The Tim Osman document that has been contested, but I got to tell you, more than likely actually real. Right there, that's in reference to Osama bin Laden, and so much more in that film that I really, one of the things I'm really proud of. Another great thing, guys, about working for InfoWars was the fact that, I got to do work that I feel like is going to last long after Jason Bermas. And I know that's kind of corny, but I'm sure some of you want legacy stuff out there. So to me, and I think it's important to be in the public domain. I know that as somebody who is an info junkie and watches other people's documentaries and, watches hearings and goes to C-SPAN like I showed you earlier, that I find these, tools like, books in a library for our history. And that's really what I'm setting out to do here. All right, let's continue. Flick off. Jason, why do you not mention this channel on We Are Change or Pulse Change? Oh, I mean, in some of the live streams I have, and just told people, hey, I do a live stream over there as well. But, we're pumping out 4 videos a day, and I'm just trying to promote those 2 channels, obviously. That's my day job, guys. That's how I'm making my living, and I'm very lucky to be doing so. For those that don't know, before that, when I was just kind of part-time at We Are Change, I was running a bar. And even before that, I had worked there. When I had left, I was working on almost 5 years, working there, not running the place. I originally took the job as a door guy while I was working at a tech company. I don't want to talk about the tech company, but it was an MSP company, which is a managed service provider, and I was doing these After Effects videos, and in a lot of ways to me, it just wasn't enough money, number one, and it was kind of soul-crushing. It wasn't exactly what I wanted to do. Obviously I was editing, and my Adobe bill was paid for. That's another thing I pay for every month, guys. It's $60 a month for me to run Premiere. So, the more editing I have to do, and that comes with Photoshop and After Effects and all those other things, by the way. But that's time consuming, the rendering and all this. When I'm doing this on the stream, I don't have to worry about any of that. I use XSplit Broadcaster. It's like a TriCaster in a box. I'm able to jump around and control my own show. I love it. It's awesome. Truth Hurts. Congrats, dude. Thank you, Truth Hurts. And listen, if you're just tuning in, you don't know who I am, and you're finding this somewhat captivating, I want to let you know that usually my videos are better than this. So check those out, and then if you like them, subscribe. I wouldn't have you just subscribe by watching this, by the way. Solid 2 gas. We can all agree. Jason has the voice for this line of work. Congratulations on 15K. Thank you, Solid, man. It feels good to get back into this, and especially because I really do feel like the alternative media is fucking weak. It is weak, is it not? Like, again, when I'm sitting here and I'm the only one really exposing nexium on a level with the alternative media, like, what is going on? I don't understand. Like, is it that tough? This is real stuff. This is connected to billionaires. The Bronfman family is very connected. Connected to Pamela Kafritz. Maybe connected to some other people that I'm not going to mention. And, connected to Roger Stone. Oh, but Roger Stone was a good guy. And you know what? I'll say this. Parletto, Frank Parletto, Frank Report, Art Voice, also done just a ton of great work. I'd like to get him on for an hour-long interview. I don't know if he would do it, but if I maybe promised to do it live stream style so it wasn't cut up, maybe he would go for it. But yeah, I think he's done some really good stuff, and he needs to be looked at. But he says, he was a good guy, and then you have Gillibrand's father, who gets in there and takes out his first cousin out of the cult, works for him as a consultant. I think it was for like $100,000 or something like that, maybe a little bit more. And then all of a sudden, he marries his first cousin. Just some very bizarre stuff. So if you haven't checked out all my nexium stuff, it gets weirder and weirder in every single video. Let's see. Daniel Howard, I like the green screen. Dancing in the Dark, congratulations. Klitsch, been watching since Info Warrior. Keep it up, homie. Thank you so much, man. I appreciate that. Info Warrior was my original show. Rowan O'Neill, Mad Dog. Charles Blenzick, thank you, Jason. Thank you, Charles. Let's see. Oh, now it jumped on me, didn't it? Jeez. Oh, here we go. Wow. Boy, that jumped a lot, huh? Jason won't cover this. Oh, my goodness. Sounds great. Wow, how? Okay, here we go. All right. Well, we got a lot here. Cool. This will be a long broadcast. Maybe we'll do a little bit. Maybe we'll do an hour, maybe a little bit more. The Algerian billionaires are connected to the recent president who stepped down. One recently met with the Macron and others connected to the Clinton Foundation. Check out Kip Simpson. All right, I will check that out. We are glad you are here, Jason. Great work. Well, thank you very much. I'm glad and happy to be here if you've been listening. I want you to look into Israeli machinations in the Middle East without being... Here we go. Here we go. Just so everybody knows, you get wild in here, I'm not afraid to block you. I'm not afraid to block you. Period. Putting that out there. So no matter what it is, if you get bigoted on me, yeah, it's not even one of those things. Let's see. I'm interested in Kristen Gillibrand. Allison Mack's similarity in appearance and Allison's wife looking just like here. Is it a breeding program? I doubt it. Listen, I'm from the area. In fact, when I was a teenager and early in college, Albany was the spot to go to, especially if you wanted to go to like a club or something. I'm never a club guy, but my friends from high school we'd go meet up with, and you're 19 years old or whatever, and you're trying to get in and stuff like that. Plenty of girls that are blonde and pretty in the area. What happened to the Concord management case, Jason? What's that? What's happening in the Concord management case? What is the Concord management case? Concord. And I mean, how cool is this that, again, on the fly, we can sit here and let's see. Judge blasts lawyers for Russian firm charged by Mueller. It's all from January. So this is Russian stuff. And, I guess I'll have to look at it. I mean, I don't want to spend all the time reading this article since I'm completely unfamiliar with this aspect of the Mueller case. But Joe Public, thank you for subscribing and being in here. Lola Balls, that is such crap. Nexium will go on when Bronfman is out. Oh, yeah. And that's the whole thing. You know what? That's probably one of my... that might be a video I do tomorrow. I'm going to read that entire court document and really point out what she should have been charged with and what we should be looking at in that case and what we're not. So, again, I think that one's going to be important. Let's see. Okay. I was able to subscribe again. Leviticus 18:22. I'm not sure what Bible passage that is, but thank you for subscribing. Yeah, I mean, hey, the unsubscription stuff happens. The thumb stuff happens. What can I do? The notification stuff happens. All I can tell you is come back and just check. I know it says Jason Justice 911. I actually have a Jason Bermas channel. I haven't made that live. I'm not sure if what I'm gonna do for a custom URL. I think I like this custom URL, but we'll see. We'll see how it grows on me. Truth hurts. Dude, look into PIE, political party. I think that is a link to deep state child traffickers. Pi political party. Okay. I don't think I'm going to do that right now, but okay, I'll take a look at that. Daniel Howard, thank you for updating that. I think she was talking about nexium. Trump colluded with Israel, but no one talks about that. We've talked about it. I don't know what you're talking about, Jeremy. Once again, if you go look over on the We Are Change channel and the Pulse Change channel, there's plenty. I I mean, right here, let's see. We've talked about what's happened on the Gaza Strip. We talked about how Israel met Putin and Trump before that infamous meeting that smeared both of them. We recently talked about how Trump says that the Golan Heights region belongs to Israel. Let's see. We talk about this stuff all the time. Like, again, when you hear these people, you know, they want you to focus on one subject, but there's so much out there that needs to be looked at. What's the second part here? Jeffrey Epstein has an Israeli Mossad handler. Again, no one knows that Ghislaine Maxwell is Mossad. And I have talked about her father being Mossad. So again, it's not no one. And if you watch my videos, I have talked about all of this stuff. And I've talked about how she's the one that wants to keep the documents sealed. So once again, you know, these accusations that somehow I cover stuff up or, you know, there's some, you know, rooted cover up is nonsense. You can go see all this stuff. It's all out there. But, you know, everybody's in theirs. There we go. I mean, I see another comment, dude, and that's it for you. Lizzie Fizzy, watched Fabled Enemies again last night. Thank you, Lizzie. I think it's an important film. I really appreciate that. Michelle Ritchie, sounds great. Thumbs up. Thank you. Lola Bullet, I'm down. Talk about how uneconomical the economy is. You know, we do talk about a lot about the economy on the We Are Change and Pulse Change channel. That one's tough right now because with the universal basic income, and that's one of the subjects, becoming more and more mainstream, I wonder how close we are to automation and what kind of economies are going to be built around this. You know, I'm 39 years old. I'll be 40 this summer. And I don't think I've ever worked somewhere for more than 4 or 5 years in a row because, quite frankly, the career opportunities are not there to rise up to a financial level that is any good. Now, this I really just don't do for finances. I would like to be able to make it more financially viable and take care of more of the things I'd like to, like buying a home and, you know, having insurance and the things like that. But right now, I'm just happy to be helping my sister out and taking care of these kids and, you know, the ones about to start softball. It's good stuff. You know, those are the most fulfilling things. And, you know, by the way, being, you know, almost 40, good chance half of my life, you know, is probably over if I'm lucky, if I can make it through, you know, all that other stuff. So you take what you can get while you can get it. And I really think that human relationships are the most important thing in this world. Corny, but true. Let's see. Rick Sheck says, yeah. Joe Public, sounds cool. Daniel Howard, I'm a night owl. There's not late enough stuff out there. Hey, maybe you guys talking about the Monday midnight mass hysteria. Monday midnight mass hysteria. I think that could be good. I don't know. I mean, should I wear the priest outfit or is that going to offend people? Oh, he said a joke. Let's see. Green Cheese says, shooting from the lip. Yes, I am shooting from the lip. That's what this one's about, guys. 15K. We did it. Charles Patterson, I'm with ya. Let's see. Pi was a political party in the UK, but the leader was a member of the Labour Party until 2017. So United Kingdom politics. Okay. Good to know you're single, dude. And here we go. Oh, this has got to be when I was telling my Tinder story. Oh, boy. With your master researching experience, would you change anything or add anything in Loose Change? Well, I think we did. If you watch Loose Change Final Cut, I think that if you watch Final Cut and you watch Fabled Enemies, I think that is a very good, at least up until 2008 with all the information we had, a good synopsis of the stuff that was out there. They overlapped slightly. But if you watch Loose Change, that's really more focused on the physical anomalies and some of the timelines. Whereas, again, Fabled Enemies for me was, the international intelligence op. So, I'd still debate every point I could. A lot of people like to go after me because of the Pentagon. People got to understand, I came on after the first Loose Change was there. I did research and had some of my stuff put in for Loose Change second edition, but it was really the Final Cut that I was able to, help start writing and getting even more clips and doing more research. That's really where we had the funds from Loose Change 2 to go to DC. to go interview people in New York City, to go across the country and interview with experts and do our own investigation. A lot of footage never got shown in that. A lot of interviews, I think the Shinky brothers, was it April Gallup? April Gallup, possibly. There was a lot of people we interviewed that never made the actual films. So, I have no regrets over any of that stuff. Let's see. Rick Sheck, I'd marry you if I was gay and not married to a beautiful lady for 29 years. Well, thank you, Rick. That's fantastic of you. Claire Bronfman pled guilty. No, yeah, she pled guilty to, very, very tame charges. She certainly didn't plead guilty to enslaving 2 women for 2 years like Lauren Salzman did, the daughter of Nancy Salzman, one of the co-founders of the organization. She certainly didn't plead guilty to the racketeering charges where they were basically getting all the members to donate the maximum amount of money to Hillary Clinton in her primary campaign in 2007 for the 2008 election. And then Bronfman and Salzman had promised they would pay them back. That's fraud. And then, no. So nothing major. I mean, the stuff that, again, watch my Claire Bronfman video. It's up on the channel, guys. You can check it out. Alexander Marr, nice job. Great work. Thank you, Alexander. Let's see. Jason, something just doesn't smell right with the Notre Dame fire. They came up with the cause much too quickly, an electrical short, really. Well, I know that they said they had workers there. They did get some of the artifacts out of there. I don't know. I know that there's a lot of turmoil in France. Again, if you're not watching the We Are Change channel, you need to be. Luke, one of the things that I really admire is not only, him confronting people, being a world traveler and going into France. And, he's there in a lot of these. And, he's getting hit with flashbangers and rubber bullets. And for those that don't know, when there was that big explosion, he was only 2 blocks away. I remember I got up, it was at 4 in the morning. I was up at 3 something, but at 4 in the morning we were planned to go live. And I basically double broadcast from my house when he goes live on YouTube so people can check it out on other platforms. And there's a huge explosion. He's in tears. He thought it was a car bomb. He walked right up to where that had happened. And, right there, a lot of people thought something, was fishy. Obviously the Notre Dame thing is bigger. Look, the people are fed up and they have every reason to be. They're sick of the elites not paying their fair share and them having less and less a quality of life. And quite frankly, if we had balls, we would be right along with them. They're pissed they can't afford their housing. They're pissed they can't afford their food. They're pissed they don't have the vacations they once had. Okay? So I don't know. It's been used as a political tool in the aftermath. Let's see. Jeremy, how do we stop? Here we go. How do we stop Israel from forcing America into World War III with Iran? Well, hopefully we don't go to World War III with Iran. Hopefully that would take some kind of a massive false flag event. Obviously not happy with the Yemen resolution. I've talked about that. It really had its teeth taken out of it. For those that don't know, the Yemen resolution that was vetoed by Trump, there was already a subclause in it where if Israel had decided that they were going to attack Yemen or strike Yemen, then the United States would still be involved. Now, that kind of, left it open that attacks could still happen, but obviously we wouldn't have the same role with Saudi Arabia, where we are literally not only giving them the weapons, but then picking the targets. Okay, that's something you can watch Rand Paul talk about on C-SPAN. So it hasn't happened yet. I'm not saying that it couldn't. I'm more concerned now with Sri Lanka, even though that seems small. But since, again, we have more military presence there all of a sudden, we're already talking about it, we're giving them money. It seems to be set up as Islamic terror. It seems like that could, again, be an AFRICOM type operation people are not that aware of. Green cheese. Yeah, Kip Simpson is great. He did an Algerian billionaire arrest story today. Kip Simpson. All right. You've sold me. Tomorrow you've piqued my interest. I'll check out some Kip Simpson. Let's see. Patterson. She pled guilty and got her hand slapped. Yes, exactly. Lizzie Fizzy. Also, my husband wants to know your thoughts on geoengineering. I'm glad because I've done a whole film on geoengineering. So you can get my thoughts. That one I have not posted on here because you can go to Shade, I think it is, Shade the Motion Picture. We'll find that right now. But if you look, that's the last film I put out in 2013. Now, it does start with, let's just bring it right up. It does start with the Bilderberg Group in 2012. And I'm really proud of this picture, by the way. It's the only movie I've done without a narration. And I think that that really, I like that style. I don't know, you tell me. If you guys have seen some of my stuff, you tell me what you think is the best one, the best information, the most well-produced. But right here, Shade the Motion Picture. Pause it once it pops up. Don't want that up there. But yeah, largely, this is geoengineering, bioengineering, a little bit of eugenics in there as well, power structure, Jordan Maxwell. A lot of the legends are in here. I'm actually in this. Shepard Ambellis, who I did this film with, Webster Tarpley. I've had a great deal of respect for a lot of these guys' research. Rosalind Peterson. So, check that out. If you've never seen that film and you're unaware of it, I think that it's got like 500,000 views on here. It wasn't really that promoted in the alternative media. What can you do? But look at that. See, they have contrail underneath. I don't even have. I don't think that. There's no. We have geoengineer the planet in there, and there you go. You get contrail. We talk about solar radiation management, all sorts of good stuff. I'm really proud of this picture. I think it looks great. I had fun making it. Dan Dick's in it. That's right. Where's Dan Dick's? I forget. Oh man, why can't I think of his name right now? But Dan Dick's. There's Shepard. There's Jordan. There's Servando Gonzalez. This one's a good movie, man. I'm really proud of this film. It's Chris Gio. And by the, I want to say that Bob Tuskin, that's who that is. I want to say that, again, I don't agree with everybody in the film on everything, but obviously if I put it in the film, I think it makes a good narrative and a good way for you to check out the research that is presented in there. All right, so let's keep going. Joe Rogan, shills for maps. I don't know what MAPS means. At Terravon, yes, Claire is here, right? I get the sisters mixed up. Yes, Claire's the one that pled guilty. Sarah is overseas and was never officially charged, but people assume that she may be overseas because she does not want to be charged. When Joe Rogan allows someone to talk about geoengineering, then he'll be worth substance of truth. I'd love to, believe me. Joe offered me a chance on his show back in 2010, and I was a dummy, and I did not go. And just show everybody that, just so everybody knows that, I'm not telling stories here. Because I don't tell stories. I'm not a storyteller. I think the truth matters. Let's see if I can find this DM in here. I know that I had tried to, there he is right there. Possibly get on there. Let's see. The Web and Me. And there you go. 2010, November 3rd. Actually, it was my brother's birthday right there. So, I'm a dummy. If you hit, I tried to possibly get on the 9/11 anniversary versus Mick West, who's a big skeptic, who we follow each other on Twitter. He's more respectful than most, Mick West. But at the same time, he's very condescending sometimes. And on the 9/11 subject, I'd love to get into the arena with Mick West and talk about a lot of the financial stuff and some of the intelligence stuff and the COG stuff and the stuff that he doesn't really like to touch. The debunkers don't love touching that stuff. So, maybe one day, guys, we're gonna keep reaching that rainbow. Remember, now we're on the road to 30K. That's the next big moment. We're gonna hit 30K next, guys. All right, Jason won't cover this. Well, let's see. Jason won't cover things he thinks are conspiracies without evidence, so he likely won't touch arson on Notre Dame until something concrete comes out. Can you blame him, though? Again, yeah, I guys, I don't just go on. My gut tells me. Come on. Let's see. Rick Sheck, the YouTube algorithm is treating you good. I get most of your notifications. Keep it up. Great content and work. Thank you, Rick. And I hope so. I'll leave it at this. Hopefully there will be some context at YouTube that, I don't suddenly get taken off, or I'm allowed to grow. I hope that they want some semblance of free speech. I'm certainly not alt-right. I'm certainly not trying to push propaganda. I certainly don't have an agenda other than to tell you guys the truth and how I feel and what I might do about it. So what's wrong with that? All right, Green Chase, 5 billionaires arrested. We've gone through that. The cathedral is a distraction. Pit Muslim against Christian, while the shrunken hats fund both sides of the conflict. Oh, geez. Again, who knows what's going on there. Smash the like button. Let's see, Daniel Hard. I can see my face in screen in the chat. Cool. It's always suspect when the powers that be come up with a cause of the fire in a few hours. I mean, just that Notre Dame got hit in the first place sucks. I mean, obviously people are going to question that, and even more so that it didn't just happen. It happened while they were doing renovations, and they got a lot of the artifacts out. Of course people are going to question that. But, I really don't have an opinion on it one way or the other. Smash the like button. Thank you, Danielle. I appreciate that. You and Luke need more guests on the show. I agree. I listen. I love having guests. I was in contact with my good friends over at the Truth Stream Media a little while ago, and then they finally got at me the other day again. If you have not seen this is a good one in the minds of men. Talked about it a little bit in the MK Ultra series I've been doing on the channel. And, yeah, I enjoy it. So I'd like to get more people. I'd like to get Corbett on a lot. A lot of people think that I've been dissing Corbett talking about tomorrow's news today, but I didn't realize he was using that terminology. Certainly wasn't a swing at him. I think they do great. Let's see. Next. I guess I should have known he would ignore my comments. Classic. I've read everything you got. I don't know what the hell you're talking about. Oh, my God. Dude, the trolls, man. Geoengineering, according to the feds, is a series of programs. It is not a conspiracy, just in case someone did not know. No, but when you start talking about those programs going live or actually happening, a lot of them I think are going to stay classified, just like when they were hitting the population without knowing with cadmium sulfate. That's a real thing. I put that in the film. There's a section where we talk about the cadmium sulfate that was sprayed on people, radioactive. You better believe it. Not only did they spray it on people, but they took cars in, urban neighborhoods and sprayed it from under the cars as they drove through the neighborhoods, and it just looked like an exhaust. Ugh. Think about that. Let's see. We're at like 52 minutes. I think after an hour I might end it, but let's keep going through it. I appreciate the chats, guys. And, again, every once in a while when we hit a milestone, I'll probably do a broadcast like this. Again, if you didn't see it, I interviewed John Fitch today. I think that's awesome. If you're an MMA fan, it's very insightful. If you haven't seen his Shake Break Monday through Friday, go subscribe to John. John's great. I love his style. It's very much like this, where he's talking to you guys and going through an AMA-style broadcast. Let's see. Don't know if you want to get into it now, but I think people need to see an in-depth video on G4S, a security company that has one of the biggest companies in the world, yet no one has heard of them. I certainly haven't. G4S. Let's go to G4S real quick just to get a look at what they are. G4S USA is a British multinational security services company. Okay. Headquartered in London, England. G4S, set up in 2004. Well, you got some interesting information on it. Send it my way. I do, as people know, when I find something like with the Dershowitz Assange stuff, I find it and I think it's interesting, and I think I can do a video on it, and I think other people need to know. I'll definitely get in there. So, G4S, thanks, Jayhawks. We'll check it out. Let's see. I got the okay. Let's see. Jason, please look into Noahide laws. I'm not sure what that is. Well, howdy, Sylvia from Austin, Texas. Austin, a great town. You know what? Let's just block him. He's the worst. Judy Wood. Goodbye. Let's see. Can I just hide user on the channel? I think that's it, right? Yeah. Goodbye. So I'll talk about Judy Wood quick, because that's all that guy posts in all of my in all of my videos is he posts Judy Wood. Judy Wood. For those that don't know, Judy Wood is one of the people that's behind no planes and directed energy weapons and all sorts of things that have been used to discredit anybody that wants the truth about 9/11. Now, I'm not saying that I am the end-all, be-all on knowing how the towers were taken down, but the no plane stuff is absolutely 110,000% garbage. I've railed against it from the beginning. I've seen enough video evidence. I've done enough video editing. I understand what keying is and, ghost planes and all this other bullshit that was tried to, infiltrate actual researchers and people that were trying to get justice. So, that's it for you, Kev. There's the block. Everybody can watch that's the first block I've had on this channel since I've revived it. You're the guy. Good for you. There's something about Jason I cannot stand. So the guy that trolls me through the broadcast claims that I didn't read any of his stuff at all. Are you ready? Now he's telling me he can't stand me. It's hard to name it, but I don't like him personally. Also, he refuses to talk about Zionism, just like Alex Jones. And now you're blocked. I'm sure I'll just get another troll account, but there you go, guys. And it's again, I just showed, as I talked to him, showed videos where we do talk about, for instance, we did a whole video about Netanyahu. Is that on the backup or is that on the regular channel? A whole video on Netanyahu. I couldn't believe when he actually said Israel isn't for everybody. And I mean, once again, we're doing these things. It's not like we're covering them up. We couldn't believe he said it either. I don't like any bigotry or racism, no matter where it comes from. And I'm done. I mean, again, those people will never be happy because they truly just, are anti-Semitic and hate Jewish people. It's true. Sorry. You did it. You said it. All right. Michelle Ritchie, good question. I've answered all this stuff. Let's see. Truth hurts. Assange will have to try a PlayStation chocolate and noodles. He's okay. Trust me. The prison in England's are pathetic. It's a good arrest. I doubt it. I still wouldn't want to be there. So let's show this. Whatever that was. CIA. Oh, it has a link in it. You can do links on my thing. I allow that. Trick Trump to expel diplomats. I'd have to look at that. Let's see. Adam 13. Who's funded by Israel? I'm funded by Israel? I mean, is that ridiculous or what? EVKHIGDA. Love your work, homie. Thank you. Was it produced by InfoWars? If you're talking about my films, Shade was not. Shade was just done with... it's written, directed by me and Shepard Ambellis, and Shepard produced the entire thing. IntelliHub. If you don't know what IntelliHub is, again, don't agree with everything over there, but me and Shepard do stay in touch, and I like his word. It used to be the intelhub.com, and I think that was a better name for it, obviously, but it's a good website. Again, I don't agree with everything that Shep does, but he does good work, and he does it from the heart. So God bless him. And he doesn't spend his time attacking people. I hate that also. It's another thing that you won't see me doing. Let's see. It's always the same with war. The funding always explains the truth, kind of like Prescott funding Nazis in America simultaneously during World War II. Then awarded U.S. ambassador. That's right. I mean, that is true. For those that don't know, Prescott Bush, who was a senator in New York, also one of the people that brought the OSS and Paperclip into being the CIA, a total spook. He was part of Averell Harriman banking. And even before and after the war, he had Nazi connections. And J. Edgar Hoover actually froze some of his accounts in those investigations. Trying to think which one. I think that's in the 2004 picture by InfoWars and Jones. I forget which one that is, but it's man, I wish I could remember it. But it was I think it was like Police State something. It was 9/11 Police State, or it was back when journalism was done over there. So yeah, Prescott Bush, not a good person. Why don't I work for InfoWars anymore? Well, I mean, obviously I left a long time ago. That was all the way back in 2010. But I'm not going to sit here and talk smack. I'm glad InfoWars is around. I'm disappointed in the path that they've chosen. I'm certainly not a right-wing neocon talking about the left as every evil. I think that's bullshit. I also think that some of the stuff they do, in fact, the majority of the stuff they do right now is very low-hanging fruit. When I worked at InfoWars, it was get a camera because you needed a camera. You didn't even just use your phone. Now we could just tell people to use their phones and approach a politician, go to an event, get them on record. That's the higher fruit. That's how we change things. We put them on blast, and then that goes viral, and then people start asking the questions, and then there's some political discourse. That's what I always wanted to do. And now it's wear one of our shirts and trigger a leftist and get it on film. Get somebody get somebody who's making $14 an hour to freak out over your t-shirt and get that on video, and that'll go viral, and that's good. I'm not interested in that. I'm not interested in just blaming one side of the political party. I'm not interested in endorsing Rex 84. So, again, I don't. We've done videos about how I was against the deplatforming and the banning. But if you go and you watch my video, the in-depth video on Sandy Hook and deep research and Jones's deposition, I think you'll see some actual deep research in how I feel. So hopefully that answered it for you. All right, so the 2 trolls have been blocked. Sylvia Blitchy, since waking up, I'll never look at the world the same. We've become accustomed to believing conflicts between religions, government, race, and rights. Come on, no more. It's not natural, period. You're right. It's natural to love your neighbor and get along with them. That's what I do, and it's pretty easy. Unless they, do something, but then it's on an individual basis. I don't blame their family. I don't blame their church or their religion or their gender. And constantly that's what's being pushed forward. And I think it's being pushed forward in the so-called alternative media at this point too. And it's toxic and gross, and it just makes me sick. Pessimistic Pomegranate, what is really going on with Astana, Kazakhstan? The new city that seemed to appear out of nowhere is seriously underpopulated, but it's super high-tech and modern. I don't know anything about that. I'll have to look it up. Let's see. Lizzie Fizzy, you guys are a good team. I like that you guys don't always agree, yet respect each other. Of course I respect him. I've known Luke now for well over 10 years, going on almost 15 at this point, and I don't know why there is all this disrespect between people if we have a different political belief. Let me give you an example. I still stay in touch with Mark Dice. In fact, I've done Mark Dice's book covers now for close to 10 years. Big Brother did that. Illuminati in the music industry, Illuminati Unveiled, or Fact and Fiction did that. Skull and Bones Fact and Fiction, Hollywood, Illuminati and Hollywood Fact and Fiction. That's all me. I did a new cover for his Resistance Manifesto. I've got to have like 8 or 9 covers. I just did the media one, the true story, fake news, true story, fake news. Did that. And I don't agree with a lot of what Mark puts out there. I think some of it's funny, but I don't dislike him as a person. I think that if he was my neighbor, he would still be my friend, and he's certainly still my friend now. So why can't we have those conversations? That's how I feel about it. Let's see. Brad Peterson. Jason, Shabbat Lubavitch is pushing Noahide laws in all countries. Please look into it. I don't know Noahide laws. Are those the type of laws that, basically won't, what they're doing to Palestinians in Israel when Netanyahu calls them second-class citizens? I'm not quite sure. And they don't always have the ability to vote. I mean, obviously, I'm against stuff like that. Oh, boy. Has anyone been seeing the Dancing Israelis video on the Corbett Report? Big details. I have not seen... maybe I have seen that full video. I'm not sure. I did a lot on the Dancing Israelis and the details on that. I've talked about the Dershowitz connection to that in recent videos. Let's see. Yeah, Tanya, I did. Yes, it's also in Jason's documentary. Yes, it is. Even some of the... Oh, man. Jumped me all the way down here. Jeez, how much... Man, Jason, my Russian spy. How much more of this do we have? Oh, thank you for the super chat. Thank you. I didn't even see that until now. Carlito Listi, thank you very, very much. Carlotto, thank you. Very, very much so. Thank you. Wow. Oh, we have another super chat. Globe Merkers. Thank you very much. Thank you so much, Globe Merkers. You do great work, Jason. Thanks. It would be awesome if you... I'd love to get on Jimmy Dore. If you can get on the Jimmy Dore show and get some decent exposure on the nexium stuff. I think a lot of his viewers would appreciate you. Cheers. I love Jimmy Dore. Jimmy, please. I've tweeted at him. I like Placone, too, and The Miserable Liberal. Obviously, Abby Martin. Abby's another person that's, I've come across with over the years, and she's very left. And there's a lot of things I disagree with Abby on. And that doesn't mean I don't think we can have a conversation or like one another. I really like Abby Martin. In fact, Robbie, who she does the Media Roots podcast and work with, her brother, Robbie and I talk in DMs all the time. In fact, Robbie is probably going to be on the channel soon. We were going to do something on Leaving Neverland, and I just hadn't got around to watching all of that yet. But you know what? Look for Robbie in the next couple of weeks. Really like him. So Globe Merkers, thank you so much. Really do appreciate that. Oh, we got another super chat. Guys, dude, thank you guys so much for all these super chats. I really do appreciate it. That's awesome. Are those the only three? Awesome. Thank you. And thank you. Great work, NG Espinoza. Thank you, man. I really do appreciate all these guys. It really helps. It makes me want to do these type of broadcasts. So maybe we will do the Monday midnight mass hysteria broadcast. Yeah, let's think about that. You guys like that? You think that's good? Monday midnight mass hysteria every Monday night. I just kind of roll with it and take your questions, and you can tell me what videos suck and what don't, and hit me to other videos. I kind of like it. Let's see. Even some of the alternative media sold out, no doubt about it. Congratulations. I watched Invisible Empire. Always loved your work. Thank you very much. The moment my eyes opened towards Israel. Again, Israel is corrupt, but if you want to point to them as like the apex of the world, I just don't think that's true. I think that you have all these competing factions that are trying to be top dogs. And I know there are a lot of people out there that look at this in a religious aspect. And I've talked about this for years as well. So, Dome of the Rock, Solomon's Temple, rebuilding, Christian Zionists believing that eventually that'll end up in an Antichrist and the return of Jesus. Well, the Jewish religion believes, no, they just rule over everybody else. Both of those are kind of sycophantic. And I grew up Christian. If Revelations is real and that's actually coming, and I'm not dismissing it in any shape, I want to say that. I'm not trying to shit on anyone's religion here, especially, I have deep respect, especially for the Christian religion in many ways. I'm just not convinced. I think that let's say you wiped out entire groups. There would be other groups that came in and vied for power. And there are many corrupt groups throughout. I mean, I just don't see where this is where people don't see other power structures and them going up against one another. Let's see. Charles Blenzik, Fabled Enemies. Congrats on the subs. Thank you, and I thank you for that super chat, too. Ben Zemeck is talking again last Friday night. He mentioned Roger Stone and Jerome Corsi at the mixer. He was on, quite frankly. Now, is that Frank Parletto's thing? Ben Zemeckis, I am aware of what he has alleged. I have not watched his videos. It's very tough for me because a lot of this stuff that, is just one person alleging it without any kind of evidence, it reminds me of kind of like the QAnon hoax. And, people getting upset at me for exposing how that actually started and showing them evidence, and then people trying to show me counter evidence that's just terrible. And everybody buying into it. I'm going to tell you right now, guys. There's nobody behind the scenes with a Superman cape that's going to drop breadcrumbs and save the world. There's no network doing that. It's us. It's you watching this. It's me. It is people in law enforcement, in the military, in the intelligence community, but they're not dropping hints on 8 and 4chan. That's not how it works. So, everything is not as complex as everything makes it out. I always tell people this. Look, anything is possible. You have to look at everything, use discernment, and decide to you what is probable. And if you can't really make that decision, that doesn't mean that you can't, weigh the odds of this possibility and that possibility and be satisfied with that. That's how I feel. Let's see. Mine opened when they murdered over 400 children in that last war, then bombed those 4 children on the beach. I effing hate them now. I'm not sure what we're talking about there. Beach. Great work. I've always thought AOC looks like Huma Abedin. I think she's prettier than Huma. Epstein bought a new island. I'm sure he's bought a lot of different things. I was very upset when I found out that Epstein only had to plead to a 16-year-old girl and only, what was it? What did he do? He pleaded to a 16-year-old girl. What does that mean? That means that he didn't have to register in over 30 states in the United States as a sex offender, on top of that sweetheart deal that he got. So that was very disturbing to me. Brian Fernakey is my boy. Tell us about Nibiru, the Anunnaki, and lost civilizations. Well, Brian, that is one of my fraternity brothers, and well over a decade ago, well before InfoWars, guys, and even before Loose Change, Brian Fernakey would always try to get me to talk about lizard people, because he knew that I, not only was listening and reading Alex Jones stuff, but David Icke and anything I could get my hands on. And, I would always tell him, what was out there and how nutty it was. But he always wanted to hear about the shape-shifting Jewish people. Shape-shifting Jewish people. I'm sorry I said that. I'm reading this next one down here. Let's see. Madman's History. Yo, man, let's deep dive into the True Detective again. Keep up the great reporting. I'll tell you this. This is what I plan to do with my my True Detective. I am going to do a documentary style, probably about 40 to 60 minute. Like, if you see my documentaries, I'm going to narrate it from behind. I'm not going to put myself in it. I'm going to connect all three, and I'm going to make sure that it is done and ready for what is hopefully the 4th season of True Detective. Let's see. The 7 no-hide laws, universal morality, essentials of the Jewish, there's the board, an introduction to the Jews and Judaism, 7 no-hide laws that all must keep. So, I would say that anything religious or ethno-based in the state is wrong, and that's why I can't agree with things like Sharia law. I don't like getting involved in military invention in countries, no matter what. In that sense, doesn't mean I like it. Let's see. Vincent Vendetta is a good article on PIA. You are correct, sir. Excuse me. Jason Thunderberg, no, it doesn't. Unemployed Mario Yamasaki. Hey, Jason, you're the man. Thank you, Yamasaki. Let's see. How can we growth if we don't waste as much as we do? Get growth if we don't waste as much as we do. I'm not. If we don't. I mean, are we talking planned obsolescence, or I'm not sure what that's in reference to. Do you know where the new island is, Tanya? I'm not sure. Mario, we need you back. Too many early stoppages without you. Mario Yamasaki has been on the scene. He must have done something to the Lords of MMA. Me and my brother, 2 pay-per-views ago, we saw him, and he was the guy clapping the time thing that goes 10 seconds. So he was keeping time. He wasn't reffing, but he's still around in the MMA circuit. Let's see. Is Trump really an outsider, knowing that he supports the current Israeli leader? I don't know that he's much of an outsider at all. I mean, look at his policies. Even though he says he wanted out of Syria, he never got there. He's given Israel everything they wanted. He wants to acknowledge Jerusalem as the capital there. I mean, Netanyahu is on record saying that relationships have never been better, and this is the best president that he's ever worked with. He's been around for quite some time. All stuff, by the way, that we have covered on We Are Change and Pulse Change. If you want to check those videos out, please go give them a sub as well. But yeah, very much so. I'm not happy with Trump's report card. I don't see myself voting for him. Even though I'm in New York and everybody counted him out. Anyway, I voted for him kind of as this protest vote because I didn't see another person that I really wanted to give that protest vote to. I voted for Cynthia McKinney back in 2008 when she was running for the Green Party because I believe she was the best candidate. I don't know if I'm going to get that opportunity. Tulsi Gabbard, Rand Paul, I don't think they're going to be on a ticket. Obviously not Rand, but I don't know what I'm going to do this year, to be quite honest. But I'm going to be honest about it when we have to cover it, and hopefully there'll be some real issues interjected. Keep up the great work. MK Ultra videos were top notch. I really enjoyed doing those because it's such a dark subject. I think people need to wake up to it. Lola Bells, yes to Monday midnight mass hysteria. All right, I think this has gone really well. I don't know if I'm going to go past 1:30. It looks like a lot of people are still in the chat room, and thank you so much. And we didn't take any calls, and I don't think I'm going to. But when we start hitting 200 to 500 live viewers at a time, we'll start taking calls also. Did you ever know that the mom from the Nexium Times Unit Symposium who said her baby was stolen? Yeah, there's a follow-up video. So Green Chase, if you didn't see the follow-up video, it's in my thing. And I found out the person who she was alleging. I don't want to get into all of it here. But somebody else reached out to me and done a lot of research. Her daughter is in Wisconsin. Watch that video and you'll get my take on the entire situation. I don't know exactly what to make of it, but I couldn't find really any evidence of abuse. At the same time, she seemed to be telling the truth that he was in technology and possibly, had those type of connections. It seemed to be in his work history. But to be frank, he was working at a Kohl's doing that type of stuff in Wisconsin. And I don't know that I could find anything that would connect him to Nexium. So Green Chase, go check out that video. It's the update. I think it's the bombshell or massive update video, but we did it about a month ago, I think. I did follow up on that. Let's see. Michelle Ritchie, agree. Family first. So sweet helping your sister. I mean, people that don't help their family, I don't get it. I just don't understand. Some of the most fulfilling moments of my days and nights are obviously spending time with those kids. We also want to know what Trump truthfully is. Is he playing ball or pretending to? I know his uncle was FBI and cleared Tesla's safe. Yeah, I don't trust Trump. He spoke better than everybody at the debates other than Rand Paul, who was quickly dismissed. And, I'd love to see him get rid of Pence and put Paul as the VP or maybe his Secretary of State. Get rid of Bolton. Huh? Do that. Let's see. She did not a lot worse than her and her father have been involved in crimes against humanity and children for decades. This bad. She must be talking about Bronfman right there, right? Tanya Vaughn, Dr. John built an Eon death ray used for sterilizing sludge that comes out of sewage pipes at Deer Point. Great analogy for Trump's administration. Sterilize the swamp. Let's see. Thank you for your, I don't know. Lola Bell, I was watching Luke live when that explosion happened. That was crazy. And people don't understand how dangerous this type of work can be. And it was really just one of those things where I couldn't believe that it was happening. And, I was freaking out over on the other end. Thank God everything ended up the way it was. They even sent some of our missing to this Nexium cult in America. This message is held for review. Let's see. Any background on the professor? Do you say hi? You know what, guys? We've hit over an hour. I don't think I'm going to go the full 130. I think the 115 to 130 mark was good. Thank you, everybody out there who is subscribed. We're going to do more of these. Maybe we do the Midnight Mass Hysteria on Mondays. If you want to do the Midnight Mass Hysteria, tell me so in the comments below. I'm going to throw it out to the community. The road to 30K is next, so please share this stuff on social media, in email chains, on your blogs, with people in the alternative media. There are a lot of those sites that are now posting these videos, and thank you for doing that, getting this information out there. But most importantly, guys, dig through some of these documents, share them. Huh? Get going. There's a lot to go through in the Dark Overlord dumps, a lot of Nexium stuff. I just found those MK Ultra documents. You can do the same stuff. You can go through this same stuff, do this same stuff, and reach a lot of people. And I feel blessed to be able to reach all of you. So, guys, thank you again, and hopefully we start doing the Midnight Mass Hysterias on Monday, and we have another 30K sub video real soon. We'll see you soon.